Morning, Raptor Freaks. Lexi Odds here. It's Wednesday, the day after Boxing Day, and we have games again today. Finally, a Raptor game again today against the Washington Wizards in Washington. And the 905 are playing at the exact same time in Westchester, New York, against the Westchester Knicks. So get ready for a split screen action, Monique, because both starting times are 7 p.m. Eastern Time tonight. I know I'll have my computer on one of the games and my TV on the other one. It's just how it's got to be. We got double duty tonight. So, yeah, let's get right into it with the latest lineup news. The ref report for the NBA game, the Raptors visiting the Washington Wizards tonight in Washington. Yeah, it's a very winnable game, I think. We have defeated the Wizards a few times in preseason and regular season already this season. And yeah, I'd like to win tonight, Raptors. So let's show up professionally and take care of things the whole game and find a way to win, because honestly, the confidence in our team is very low overall in a lot of different places. And, there's a lot of things going on right now around the NBA with a dichotomy of very, very good teams with good records. And then there's a couple teams that are really, really bad right now. And we're going to see one of those teams on Saturday. So, yeah, this is a weird week. The Raptors need to be careful. Y'all need to start playing way better right now, because there's a minefield of folly coming up right now. And some people are anticipating that the Raptors may be the ones that the Pistons finally break their streak against. Y'all don't want to be that. You really don't. But let's not get ahead. Let's talk about the Washington Wizards right now. That's today's game tonight. All right, latest lineup news. The Wizards do not have anybody listed injured right now. They're completely healthy, according to this injury report. So I can't tell you that anybody's going to be missing the game tonight. It looks like even our guy, DeLon Wright, former Raptors draft pick, we love DeLon, is back from injury finally. And I've activated him on my fantasy team and brought him back as an active player. So even DeLon Wright, who's been out most of the season, has finally returned. So it's the full strength Wizards tonight. Tyus Jones, Jordan Poole, Denny Avdija, Kyle Kuzma, and Daniel Gafford in the starting lineup, with DeLon Wright, Landry Shamet, Bilal Coulibaly, Corey Kispert, Danilo Gallinari, Johnny Davis, Mike Muscala, Jared Butler, Anthony Gill. Yeah, that's their team, what it looks like. They're not a very good team overall. Their record shows they have a worse record than us, and we need to beat them. Meanwhile, on our side of things, Koloko is still listed as out. And I also heard through Savannah Hamilton on Twitter that Garrett Temple is doubtful for tonight. So that is about the extent of the injuries for the games tonight. Nobody on the other side. Completely healthy Washington Wizards team, and pretty healthy Raptors team also. So it should be a very healthy match between the two of them. And don't mess around, Raptors. Just win, please. Of course, I worry about, after having 3 days off and Christmas, the Raptors once again coming back lackadaisical, not coming back correctly, coming correctly back to the game. That could be a real big problem tonight. So Raptors, take this seriously. I know you guys returned to the team yesterday with 2 days off, obviously for Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. And, hopefully you had a practice on Tuesday on Boxing Day. You got on a plane and flew to Washington, D.C., and you guys had a good rest last night. Now it's raining here in Toronto. Hopefully that can be good luck for them in D.C. from here. So, all right, let's do the refs next. Ref crew tonight is not so bad. It's pretty run-of-the-mill kind of stuff for Washington Wizards Toronto Raptors game. Our crew chief is Curtis Blair. Curtis Blair is from Roanoke, Virginia. Well, that's a little bit of red flag, but it doesn't matter. His favorite TV show is Dexter. His favorite movie is Grease. His favorite musicians, Casey and JoJo. His favorite meal is lamb curry. He'd most like to visit Brazil, and his hidden talent is he's a tennis player. Curtis Blair has 6 seasons of NBA G League experience and refereed the 2008 NBA G League Finals. He also officiated in several collegiate conferences, including the ACC, Atlantic 10, and Colonial Athletic Association. Yeah, Curtis Blair actually was drafted in the NBA draft by the Houston Rockets in the second round of the 1992 NBA draft. But he only played professionally in Australia, Austria, and Turkey. So, yeah, Curtis is a former player that was actually drafted in the NBA. Curtis is our best ref today. We like Curtis Blair. He's a great crew chief for us. We win 61% of our games when Curtis Blair is around, and the Wizards win 43%. So the split with crew chief Curtis Blair is 61 to 43 for the Raptors. That's not a bad crew chief to have. Let's just put it that way. The second ref is Sean Corbin. We've seen Sean Corbin a couple times this year already. He's in his 30th season out of Baltimore, Maryland. Another guy from around the Atlantic area there around, DC. Yikes. Favorite TV show is CSI Miami. Favorite movies are The Godfather and Godfather 2. His favorite musician, Brian Culbertson. He likes the book Quiet Strength. His favorite meal is steak and lobster. He most liked to visit Johannesburg, and his hidden talent is cooking. So we got a guy who can play tennis and another guy who can cook. And Sean Corbin played basketball also, but he played basketball and baseball at Coppin State University. And I don't know if he actually played any higher than that. He just played at university. So yeah, Sean Corbin is the second ref. Let's see. Last time he ref for us, we lost this year. And we win 52% of our games when Sean is around. And meanwhile, the Wizards win 47% of their games. So 52-47 is the split in the favor of the Raptors with Sean Corbin. The third ref is Matt Boland. He is also an athlete. He is the PGA golfer. 22nd season out of Connecticut. His favorite TV show is Seinfeld. His favorite movie is Tin Cup. And his favorite musician is Tom Petty. His favorite meal is pizza. And he'd most like to visit Scotland, and he'd also like to play golf at Augusta National. Yeah, Matt Boland is an accomplished golfer. And Boland has competed in several PGA of America events and worked as a PGA professional. So yeah, Matt Boland, we've seen him quite a few times this year already. We saw him in preseason. We saw him a few times in regular season already. We lost the last game that Matt Boland refereed. We are 48% winning percentage with Matt Boland, and same thing, same percentage for the Wizards, actually slightly lower for us. So he actually favors the Wizards. It's 47.8 for us, 48.1 for the Wizards. So slight advantage with the third ref for the Washington Wizards. So there you go. Curtis Blair, Sean Corbin, and Matt Boland, the referees for the Raptors game. For the 9:05 game, we do have referees for that game also in Westchester. The crew chief is Pat O'Connell, number 73. We're familiar with Pat O'Connell. Claire Aubrey is the referee, and Kaz Beverly is the umpire in Westchester, New York tonight for Marquise Noel and McCurr and the crew playing 9:05, playing tonight against Westchester. So double duty once again, y'all. 7 p.m. starts for both games. 7 sharp, y'all. This ain't no 7:30 junk. This is 7 o'clock start. So be ready early for the games at 7. Yeah. All right, let's check in with y'all in the chat. I hope y'all have had a great Christmas. Everything was awesome. And whatever, was going on, hopefully, hey, it's over now. That's what I would say in some ways. But yeah, hopefully you had a very nice Christmas. And if not, hey, listen, family's here for you too, here on this channel. I'm here for you guys. All right, Trevor Jay's in first. Good morning, Raptors family. Happy game day. Let's go Raptors. Yes, Commissioner Jay. Let's go Raptors. He's saying I have to cancel my trip to Washington today. I did not find tickets for $25 to the Wizards game. So you're not going to be at the game tonight with your cousin because the tickets weren't right. That's too bad, Trevor. But you've been going so often in enemy arenas this season so far. It's cool, man. Hey, do what you can do. I mean, you seem like you've been going crazy going to all these games lately. And hey, we can't get mad at you for missing this one if you can't make it. But Commissioner Jay, I salute you either way. Let's see. Dana's saying, good morning, everybody. Happy game day. Happy game day to you, Dana. I hope we beat them. Oh, my gosh. I mean, listen, things are really rough around things. There's all kinds of really crazy stuff around Raptors Nation right now. And I just want some wins and some good positive success to start turning the tide of opinion and all the weird stuff that people are saying right now. Just shut up. If you have nothing good to say about helping us with this bad situation we're in, just be quiet is what I tell people. Yeah. Chev got in trouble in the last couple days with YouTube, and he's on a ban for a week where he cannot drop any content because he got really mad about the Utah Jazz loss on Saturday, and he put a clip out on it, and they gave him a penalty for harassment. I don't know. They gave him some sort of strike for harassment. It makes me a little bit worried about how I do my content in some ways because I don't want to get a strike for something stupid. So, I go off on my rants and I try to do a non cussing stream yesterday. So I may be trying to, it's not really conform, but I may be trying to not be so verbally abusive just in case I don't want to get a strike like Sheb did just for going off on the team or something like that. I don't know. I'm going to have to balance this and see how I do. In some ways, I'm harder to regulate because there's so much of my material and they can kind of look at different parts of it and they'd be like, what is that? But either way, I wish Chev well, and I hate to hear that YouTube's messing with him like this. I really want you to be able to do what you do, NBA Chef. So YouTube, shame on you. Let the man have free speech. Let the man say what he has to say because it's important. Yeah, it's important. All right, let's see. Trevor J saying we're all not perfect people, so do not point fingers to others because we are not perfect. So work on yourself before you pass judgment today. Man, it's great words of wisdom. There are a lot of busybodies out there. They're trying to help you improve yourself and think what you should be. And they have no idea what you really want inside with your goals. And they should stop trying to mess with you or tell you who you should be or what you should be about. Yeah, I agree with this, Trevor J. And we definitely don't want to be hypocrites and do it ourselves. So, you know what? The best thing to do is just unconditionally accept people for who they are. In some ways, that's a big part of the serenity prayer you got to learn as you get older is you can't control other people. You can only control your own actions and words. And the more you get upset about trying to control somebody else's actions and words, the more miserable you'll be. So, yeah, that's a key to being happy and wise in your life. Realize what you can and cannot control. And ultimately, you know what? You shouldn't be trying to control other people. How about that? MSJ saying we have 2 wins coming, maybe 3, and a free dinner. I like that. It'd be great. Like, seriously, if we could beat Boston on Friday night in Boston, that would be a real good pick me up and things. And some of the ways that's what we're lacking this season is like we can have really bad, humiliating losses and tough stuff going on. But if we can go get a huge win against a team we had no business beating, that always makes spirits go up and feel better. So each game's an opportunity. Washington is a team that y'all should beat, and you just need to take care of business. Now, Friday, in some ways, you're not expected to beat the Celtics. But if you beat the Celtics, wow, that go a lot of way for a lot of different things for y'all. And then on Saturday, y'all really need to take care of business because you don't want to be flirting with history and stupid stuff that's going on with that Pistons franchise right now. Just trust me on that. Yeah. Monique is here. Good to see the super fan. Monique Lawrence, we love you, Monique. I hope you had a great Boxing Day, great Christmas, all around, everything good for you, Mo. Good morning, Raptor Freak family, and happy game day. Happy game day to you, Mo. Yeah, let's send all the good vibes down to DC and help these guys out. A little bit of good vibes for Westchester, New York for the 905 playing tonight also. What fun. I know Mo's like me. In some ways, Christmas is great. You get up and you get presents, but hey, getting up on the day when the Raptors are playing, it can feel like Christmas too. Bryce is here. Good to see Kentucky's Raptor Freak president, Bryce Lawson, holding it down in our Kentucky chapter down in the States. Good morning, Lex and Raptor Freak. Good morning to you, Bryce. I hope you're having a fantastic day so far down in Kentucky. I hope the weather's better than it is here. It's a little rainy here right now, but always good to see my friend Bryce in the morning. Isaac's here also. He's got me and Mo on blast. I love you, Isaac. I hope everything's been great for you on your Christmas. And also, Ottawa's everything's going good over there and around the nation's capital, Ottawa. That's right. Isaac's holding it down in Canada's nation's capital, and the Raptors going to be holding it down in the United States nation's capital tonight. That's right. Evelyn is here. We got Granny Swag in the house. I hope that Granny Swag had a fantastic holiday and lots of time with baby Candace. Smiles, laughs, giggles, presents, good food, good people, good friends, good fun. Granny Evelyn, I wish that all for you. And I hope you had a fantastic holiday Absolutely fantastic. And she's saying, let's go Raptors. That's right. Let's go Raptors. That's right, Granny Swag. Let's go. Firebolt's here. Good to see Firebolt. Good morning, Lex and Raptors family. I hope you all had a great holiday. If you celebrate, happy game day. Yeah, back at you, Firebolt. And everybody, whatever you're celebrating, whatever it is, I don't care. I want you to have a happy time and a good time and feel at peace and feel like you got support. If you don't have support anywhere else, you've at least got me. I'll just tell you that. I'm serious. Seriously, y'all. In some ways, if you get to that point, reach out to me. I will help you. Seriously, I have some training in this, honestly, because of my work in AA. I'm a sponsor, and I help people all the time with their alcoholism. So it's not even that if you need me for that, I'm just saying if you need somebody to talk to just in any kind of way, if you're in a rough place, I am here for y'all, just so y'all know, because I don't want anybody out there feeling alone and isolated in this world. You always got the Raptors freak, is what I'll tell y'all. But Firebolt, good morning to you, and thank you for the wishes. We had a fantastic Christmas, and I'm so glad I got to spend it with my close family that I don't get to see all the time. I really don't. So it was really, really awesome. Bryce is saying, I was watching some amateur sports videos, and I can tell he's absolutely an amateur. He hates Darko so much, and it's draining to watch. He's so negative and gives off bad mojo. Yeah, it's kind of, they named the channel right, Bryce. Amateur hour. I mean, I get it. I'm an amateur, but I'm not really. I was trained in how to do this in college and university at Florida State School of College and Communication, at Diffenbaugh Building at Florida State, at WVFS. Yeah, I was on the radio for like 15 years, and I have a lot of experience. I did radio call-in shows, sports call-in shows. I've done a lot of that kind of stuff. So it's no amateur hour here, even though it may be run sometimes like amateur hour, just because I've got a beaver puppet and all kinds of goodies and prizes and stuff. No, it's a little bit of fun. But yeah, I've never watched Amateur Hour. I just don't have the time, especially if he's a Darko hater. Man, these people just need to lay off. They're just too anxious. They're too impatient. And they need to chill out. And seriously, if y'all really love the Raptors so much, you need to come watch me listen to how to be a fan better. And then also just kind of like chill and let them do their work in progress, because that's what's going on here. If you're in your own life and you're trying to do something difficult, like take apart your engine in your car, do you want your grandpa, your uncle, and your dad looking over your shoulder telling you how you're doing it wrong constantly? Do you want to work on that car engine like that? Oh, you're using the wrong ratchet. You should have put that hose there. You don't want to listen to these guys over your back, breathing down your neck, telling you how to do your life. And that's how we should stop doing this to these guys and let them do their jobs and let them figure it out. We are a work in progress, and there is going to be stuff going on soon. Watch. There'll be some deals. It'll make y'all feel better, and hopefully we will be better, and we'll play better on the court and have better results. But you guys are such perfectionists. It's annoying, Raptors Nation. Y'all need to chill out and let the team be imperfect right now, and let the team be just who they are. Because honestly, y'all getting on in a tizzy on top of what's going on with them is doubling down the idiocy and the bad stuff that's happening right now. So thank you, Bryce, for telling me about amateur hours. Yeah, I'm not surprised those guys are amateurs and acting like amateurs and have amateur takes over on that channel. Yeah, I get it. They advertise real well. If you want amateur hour, you go check out amateur hour. Randolph's here. Good morning, beloved Raptor Freaks, most informative gang. What a blessing and a joy to be on the land of the living. Oh, ooh, say that 100 times, please. I agree. Yes, Raptors will press the rest button. We will see good basketball from here on out. Yeah, reset button. Press the reset button. Yeah, I hope so. I mean, in some ways there is maybe the stealth tank. There may be the double secret probation of the Raptors, and Masai in some ways, maybe they told him, it's like, listen, y'all have gone rogue and you did something that we really didn't want you to do. You won a championship. And now we're going to have to punish y'all on the down low. No, you can't tell anybody. You would ruin the league. You guys are not allowed to do this. You're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to do this. What if the part of the reason why they can't make any deals is because the NBA is saying that they can't, or they're blocked? Or what if they can't do this because of some sort of weird internal things that are going on? I'm telling you, there's something weird about how the NBA is adjudicating the Raptors right now. and it's not totally fair. I feel like our hands have been tied in certain ways over the last few years, and there's certain forces in the NBA that are making it hard for us to do certain things. Now, Bobby Webster, just make a deal, please. Your job depends on it. I'm telling you, man. Now, I went and looked at this stupid petition that's out there. 200 people have signed it. That's it. Nobody signed this stupid petition because they can understand how stupid it is. And I think it's bots putting it out. Seriously. I don't even think they're real people that are posting the petition. I think it's just Rogers made bots from Ted Rogers himself. Got paid for some automated bots to put out bullshit to try and hurt Bobby and Masai coming after him like that. And then people are sheep and they follow bots putting bullshit out. And they, it becomes like that's what happens is that they start parroting what AI is telling them to say. It's so dumb. Y'all stop doing that. Seriously. And just get behind our people and be supportive. Seriously. All right, let's keep going. Thank you for the blessings, Randolph. And I hope that you're having a great Wednesday morning. And yes, what a great blessing to be on this side of life and not death. That's something everybody should wake up and say. In fact, let's go look at the Instagram stories because Chris Boucher has something to say about that today. First, we got Miles Burns of the 905. He's saying, if I didn't text you saying Merry Christmas, we're still gang. I'm just lazy. I get it. I had a problem with my phone over Christmas. So Cowboy and a couple other people that texted me Merry Christmas, I didn't get back to you because my phone was out of commission for 2 days. So I just got it working yesterday again. Chris Boucher is saying, as I opened 2 gifts this morning, they were my eyes. Thank God not everybody did. That's what I'm saying. Randolph and Chris are on the same page. It's like y'all at some point just need to be basically thankful that you are alive. You get to have another day of your life in some ways. It's like some of these Raptor fans are so ungrateful, they can't even get that basics. Like, can I come up to this person who's so on Darko or the front office and say, you know what, you should be just glad you're alive? They wouldn't get it. They'd be like, no, I'm miserable. No, the team sucks. It's like, no, you need to get back to gratitude of understanding that just the basics of that you walk on this earth still. Instead of getting all in a tizzy about little things like the basketball team and getting all mad about that, you need to get back to being just happy that you have a roof over your head, or that you have food, or that you can walk, that you can talk, that you can do this, you can do that. There's basic things you should be grateful for, and you're being ungrateful about a basketball team which you don't run or you don't have anything to do with. Now, come on, let's get in touch with like reality here, youngsters. In some ways, y'all need to get great gratitude again, like Randolph Phillips and I have. Seriously, y'all need to get gratitude just for the basics instead of getting all bent out of shape about very specific things that have to do with a sports team and people doing those jobs. This is funny here. He's got a picture of Scottie Pippen on the sideline of a basketball game. And his text says, grandmothers seeing women not fixing their men plates at holiday. And he's, of course, Scottie Pippen's making a stank face. And that's pretty funny. Scottie Pippen gets a lot of memes and like posts like this. Yeah, really, he's the butt of the jokes in a lot of ways. But you know what? He's being a jerk lately. So in some ways, he kind of deserves it. There's a nice picture of Chris in his Toronto Raptors basketball shirt and warm-ups. Yeah, we love you, Chris, and Merry Christmas, Chris. Montreal's great. Chris Boucher, we love you, man. Koloko is celebrating. Omur Balo, I'm guessing he's in the Hall of Fame game in Phoenix. I'm not sure if he's an Arizona player or what's going on there. Trent Sr.'s always posting funny stuff, good stuff on his. He's in Santa Monica now as of yesterday. So he took off from Toronto and flew to California in the last day or so. He's having clam chowder yesterday. And there's a mother's yelling somewhere that I'll take all this shit back. Is a post by Gary. And he had a nice steak dinner last night, Gary Trent Sr. Very good to see. Marquise Noel is posting about January 26th. I am the gift. I'm the gift that continuously gives, boundlessly, with no strings attached. Unconditional love is such a radical concept that even my most devoted followers fail to grasp it fully. Absolutely nothing in heaven or on earth can cause me to stop loving you. You may feel more loved when you are performing according to your expectations, but my love for you is perfect. Therefore, it is not subject to variation. What does vary is your awareness of my loving presence. When you are dissatisfied with your behavior, you tend to feel unworthy of my love. You may unconsciously punish yourself by withdrawing from me and attributing the distance between us to my displeasure. Instead of returning to me and receiving my love, you attempt to earn my approval by trying harder. All the while, I am aching to hold you in my everlasting arms, to enfold you in my love. When you are feeling unworthy or unloved, come to me, then ask for receptivity to my unfailing love. That's a beautiful thing what Marquise is professing on his Instagram stories about the unconditionalness of love, true love. If it's real love, there's no conditions. It's just how it is. And if y'all really truly love the Raptors, there's no conditions on it. You just love them. And I know all y'all are on the same page with me on this. But I wish general Raptors fan could be like, oh my gosh, if y'all could be more like us, that'd be great. Let's see. I think that's it. I don't really want to talk about Dubber Don. We don't have to talk about Delano. There's some cool pictures of Thad Young's kids, the young boys on Christmas. Really, really good stuff with them. They had matching PJs, Shakina and Thaddeus Young for Christmas. Very cute. Yeah, the Young family having a great Christmas, it looks like, all together. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff there. All right, there's your Instagram check for today. Raptors Instagram check. Holiday season. That's right. Fiercey's here. Good morning, fam, and happy Wednesday. Good morning to you, Fiercey. I hope you're having a great day, Marie. Let's get this win tonight. Let's go, Raptors. That's right. Cool Cat is here. Good morning, Raptor Free Crew game day. That's right. All business. Cool Cat's all business. She may be at work doing business, but she's thinking about this game tonight too. I'm with you, Cool Cat. Let's go. Let's go, Siakam and Anunoby and Barnes and the rest of the group. Get some good energy and good work going in and come out the gates ready. No messing around. Don't wait until the second quarter. Get it going right now, Scott Wayne Barnes, as soon as you get in that game, please. Please. Monique is saying, I feel somewhat good about this road trip. Whoo, yeah. I like, Washington and Detroit. Those are games. I mean, the Detroit game's a little scary. A lot of people are wanting us to lose to Detroit. Our own fans, these idiots, are saying we need to lose to Detroit on Saturday so that they fire the front office. You idiots, you dummies. Stop saying stuff like that. We need to beat Detroit. We don't need to be in the record books, being the team that lost to them finally after all this losing they've been doing. No, we do not. And we need to win. Scotty, you need to personally beat Cade because you don't need this. Seriously, y'all don't need this. I'm telling y'all, if y'all don't care enough to not be on the other side of that streak in the way that that's going down, you need to get with it. I'll be like, holy crap, we're not even like, this isn't even like we're missing Kyle Lowry at this point with Dog and reasoning for why we don't need to lose. These guys just don't get it. You don't want to be on the other end of a losing streak like that, where you are the team they finally beat. I'm just telling y'all need to avoid this. In fact, I hope the Pistons can somehow, some way beat the Celtics tomorrow night on Thursday when they play each other. That's right. There's a really weird do-si-do where the Pistons, the Celtics, and the Raptors are all playing each other each once. It's 3 games. So it's like the Pistons are in Boston on Thursday night, and they're playing them first. And then we come into Boston on Friday night and play them the second night of a back-to-back. So in some ways, we've got an advantage because the Celtics will have played the Pistons from the night before. And then we turn around and go to Detroit and play the Pistons in Detroit on Saturday. So it's like 3 games in 3 nights, those 3 teams all getting to play each other once. So, hey, Detroit, why don't you win in Boston on Thursday and just end your streak before we even play you? That would be great. You could go ahead and do that. You know, it'd be weird. Maybe the Celtics will take you lightly, and maybe you can do that. That'd be a huge accomplishment if y'all could beat the Celtics in Boston. I mean, we want to do it on Friday, too. So please just do that. Just take care of your streak before we see you. If you don't, well, we're going to beat you and make sure you continue to lose because I ain't about losing to the Pistons on Saturday. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Let's see what else is going on. Mo's saying, I feel somewhat good about. Yeah, I read that one. Cool Cat saying, I feel grateful to watch Pascal and OG play for the Raptors today. Yeah, I feel grateful for that too. And honestly, Cool Cat's saying that partly because she doesn't know how much longer that's going to be possible. And in some ways, feeling grateful for that is a very good example of how to have gratitude for something that you may not is not always given. You know what I'm saying? It may not always be given. Fiercely saying, I also like Casey and JoJo. That's cool. Yeah, you and Curtis Blair. Yeah, Curtis Blair's an interesting ref. He's not that bad. I've always kind of liked Curtis Blair, and his record with the Raptors is actually real good. So I feel pretty good about the ref crew tonight. I mean, Matt Boland's kind of a stinker, but if he's not out there with somebody like Ed Malloy or Scott Foster, he's usually better. He takes the direction of the crew chief. And Sean Corbin, he's kind of he's not the better Sean of all the Seans, but yeah, we'll just have to see. I think that either team's not going to get that much favor from them. They'll be right down the line, and hopefully that just means the Raptors will win because we're the better team. G's here. Good to see G. Good morning. Apparently, Darko's system allows a lot of open looks. Also, the assists are very high. Did you hear the Doc Rivers interview on what Masai's plan is? I heard that Doc Rivers is being outspoken on the Raptors, but I didn't actually see the clip. He's saying that he thinks that we're going to clean house very soon. That's what I did hear. Somebody said in the chat on Facebook that Doc Rivers was on TV saying that he thinks that the Raptors are about to make major moves and clean house and rebuild the team around Scotty, getting rid of a lot of players. He doesn't think we're just going to do a few moves. He thinks that we're going to be a total rehaul into the next summer, that we could have a whole different cast of characters playing for our team on the roster for next season by that time. Now, it may not all happen all at once. There may be a move here, a move around the deadline, a move in the off season, and then boom, all of a sudden next season, we'll be coming in the next season with a very different cast of characters playing for the Toronto Raptors. Yeah, I don't know what he said as far as what Masai's plan is or what exactly Doc said. But listen, in some ways, Doc's doing the right job now. He's not a very good coach. He is a pretty good broadcaster. And in some ways, when he's saying stuff on the broadcast, sometimes I will believe him. Now, I don't know how much he's got against the Raptors from years of playing against us or something. Did he seem salty when he said it, or did he seem like he's just trying to just the facts us? Because honestly, I would have to listen to his voice and see if he's kind of like telling us in a way that it seems like he's, believable. Because sometimes people say a lot of out of pocket stuff down south, and it really isn't helpful, or it is kind of some messed up. But I'd have to hear it. I haven't heard the clip or what he said exactly, but I hear he's talking about us. Bryce is saying, my girlfriend's family got me a whole bunch of Raptors gear for Christmas, and man, I'm happy I didn't have any. That is so awesome, Bryce. Because listen, I know living in Tallahassee, Florida, you can't get Raptors stuff hardly anywhere down there. You may go to a sporting goods store and they may have one item in that whole store that is Raptors related. They usually have like most of the NBA teams represented, but it may be just like one hat, and that's all you can choose. Bryce, that makes me so happy. That means that your girlfriend's family loves you because they know what you love and they got you some good stuff. So that's awesome, man, Bryce. That's so awesome. Rock it with pride, man. I know right now it's a little tough, and some people may be like, your team sucks, but no, hold your head high and wear it anyway. That's such an awesome thing. Monique's saying, I heard about the interview. Gee, yeah, I'm wondering what Doc said. Exactly. Doc Rivers, in some ways, I believe him. If he's saying things about like we're going to be making moves, I believe him. And listen, these people in the inside of the NBA, not the fans, know just how good Bobby and Masai are, and they respect them and understand that these guys are very good. Didn't you not listen to what Dwayne Casey said about Masai Ujiri, a man who fired him 5 years ago? How much he said he's doing a good job and he's a fantastic person at his job. Y'all need to listen to insiders, people that have worked with them before, people like Nick Nurse, Dwayne Casey, people that have gone against them like Doc Rivers. They will tell you the truth about our front office, not some jabroni making a change.org petition to get them fired. No, listen to insiders in the NBA and how they talk about our front office and realize we have a lot to protect with them because we need them on our team. Trust me, we really do. Carlos here. Good to see Carlo JS. What did Doc say? I've been looking for that clip. Basically, I heard that he just said we're going to make a lot of deals and that we're going to have we're going to turn over a roster a lot, that we're not going to keep so many players. We're going to get rid of more guys and have new players coming in than what we're keeping is basically, I think, what he said. Firebolt saying, "That's awesome, Bryce. I got my first Raptors jersey as well. Hopefully, wearing it will bring luck to them tonight." That's awesome, Firebolt. Which player did you get? I'm wondering. Did you get the Barnes jersey? Because I know, woo, when you get that Barnes jersey, it's very nice. It's very fun. Yeah, that's awesome. I'm so glad to hear you guys getting some Raptors apparel for Christmas. That's the best gift for a Raptors fan. Yeah, Cool Cat saying, Lex, it's weird for NBA Chef because he was all basketball game critique, nothing personal at all. That's what I'm wondering. That's what he's saying in Twitter. I was like trying to look at him, see what did he do. He's not sure what he said specifically that infringed on their harassment policy. So I don't know. I mean, in some ways, I'll tread lightly. In some ways, he's a bigger fish, so he gets a little bit more attention because of views. But still, it's good for me to kind of pay attention to compadres that are doing the same kind of thing as me and see the things that kind of happen with them with YouTube and stuff like that. I always a little suspicious of big companies and working underneath them. Just put it that way. But yeah, I don't know what he said. In some ways, people have said that he was critiquing basketball and he didn't really say anything like personal or crazy. And maybe it's a mess up, and he'll get appeal and it'll be fixed. But he cannot broadcast for a week now, and people are saying crazy stuff like, "We need you for a Detroit game this weekend." Well, apparently he's going to do spaces on Twitter for this time while he can't. He was going to go there anyway and start doing spaces more there. But in the place of him not being able to do his YouTube, he's going to be on spaces apparently. Yeah. Trevor's saying the whole crew is going to be at the Boston game on Friday against the Raptors. We're going into the green miles. Yeah, all right. Well, good. At least if you're going to make it to a game this week, the Boston game's more important in some ways for needing more support. And Washington, we probably get away with not going there just in case. Hopefully they just win and beat them. Kareem saying, I'm 2 hours behind in Denver, Colorado. I'm on mountain time or some shit. Oh, so you're on the mountain time now, like Cowboy and Seymour and the middle of the country people. That's right, because you went to Denver. You were talking about that the other day. Well, Kareem, safe travels. And yeah, you're a little early, man. I guess it's like 7:30, almost 8 in the morning right now. It's 10 o'clock here. So you're probably like 8, almost 8 o'clock there. Let's see. Jam Joss is here. Jam Joss. Wagwan, Raptors family. We're going to hold it down regardless of win or lose. Don't want to be the guy to say this, but I'm pulling the B card on this Chev situation. It's because he's a brother. You good, bro? All right, cool, man. I appreciate that. Listen, man, I love Chev. You think it's because he's a black guy that they did that to him? That's messed up. That's no good. YouTube, what are you doing? What are you doing? In some ways, you're an important bastion for free speech. And y'all don't need to be like, I don't want y'all to go and be like telling us how much we can say or what we can say more and more over time. That's no good. And any kind of like automatic flagging by AI is part of what's happening here. There can be all kinds of mistakes with that, especially with this channel. I'm always saying crazy stuff that can be misconstrued. I could be doing a character, or I could say something just really crazy, a thought that I just had. And AI could be hearing me and they'd be like, that's weird. You're getting this or this. And I'm like, I don't want any of that. I don't want to live in a future where I'm really watching what I say because AI is listening. That's messed up. Yeah, no, I hope this isn't why, Jam Joss. This is why. That's no good. That is no good at all. And yeah, YouTube, don't be racist. Don't be coming down on NBA Chef. No, I ain't about that. I'm an ally of his, and I will help him, and I will fight against you, YouTube, or you're trying to do some messed up stuff against creators. There's a lot of creators on YouTube, and they're very strong, and they're doing amazing things. And in some ways, we all get together and we talk to each other. Yeah, we can have power, YouTube. So watch out. In some ways, free speech is very important, and we want to continue to have it in society. And in some ways, if that's a fight that NBA Chef and I got to fight, we will. We will. And I got his back. Trust me. Yeah. Trevor's saying Clippers started very shaky, now sitting in the 4 spot. Yeah, they're very interesting. I think it's so crazy. In fact, in some ways, I want the Clippers to win the championship this year. I'm serious. I would love Kawhi to get the 3 championships with 3 different teams, just like LeBron. I would love to see James Harden and Russell Westbrook win a championship finally and shut everybody up in some ways. I mean, I've come full circle on them. I know that these guys have been maligned and they've been crazy and they've had all kinds of criticism of them and they've never won. Well, in some ways, I want to see them win. just because for some reason I just do. I think that James winning a championship with the Clippers would be hilarious after the super teams of Brooklyn and Philadelphia. It would be so hilarious. So yeah, go Clippers. In some ways, I hate you, Steve Ballmer. But in some ways, also, I love the idea of the Clippers getting their first ever championship ever. And it's behind our guy Kawhi. And look, Norman gets another ring. I'm not upset about that. So you go Clippers. You started really bad, but now it's really weird what y'all are doing right now. And I'm proud of y'all. So keep healthy, keep going, keep together, and go do it. Go do it, Clippers, Beatles, whatever you guys are. What are you calling yourselves? The California Clippers? The guys from Cali? The Cali? Can you going back to Cali, LL Cool J? Is that what's going on here? Uh, I don't think so. No, I think y'all need to win. Seriously, James Harden. He's going back to Cali. Yeah, yeah. All right. Stargate saying, good morning, Raptor Freak family. Hope everyone had a good Christmas or however you celebrated the holidays. Lex is right. Basketball is only for our extracurricular entertainment. It's not your life. Be thankful for every day. That's right. Have some perspective, young people. Make something else more important in your life. I mean, this is very paramount and very front and center in my life, but I know how to balance this in some ways. I have a lot of other interests. And if there's Raptors world does not need to be delved into in my head 24/7. There's other stuff I like to think about, like music and gardening and other things. So get other hobbies, Raptors fans, especially when we're not winning so much. It's just better for your health. Trust me, your mental health. Let's see. Carlos saying now is the time to make some noise. 7 games below 500, 1 game at a time. That's right. Listen, I have no expectations. If they lose the game tonight, I'm not going to go and feel like, and all messed up. I'm just like, yeah, this is where we're at. Of course, we coughed up a 17-point lead at Utah on Saturday, and we're just still here kind of at this place. I mean, it's up to them if they really want to have pride and try and play better and try harder and win. I can't control that. I can't control whether the Raptors are going to come correct and try and do things right. So why am I getting all bent out of shape about it? If I want to be at their mercy like that, see, that's part of the problem with these people that don't get it. They're unintelligent. They don't understand. You're letting your emotions be controlled by the basketball team. You silly fool. That's your biggest mistake right there. You got to detach, and you got to be able to be like, well, I wish they do better, but they're going to be who they are right now. Stargate saying at Cool Cat, NBA Chef last 3 videos were well done. He had a lot of valid points. Yeah, I hate hearing this. And the weird thing is the mystery of why it happened. Is like he doesn't know exactly why, and they haven't really explained it to him yet. I don't know. It's no good. It's no good. In some ways, I don't like him being messed with. G saying, I asked Chev why he was suspended, and he said he violated a harassment policy. But get this, he has no idea against whom. They didn't even tell him. That's so messed up. Yeah, who did he harass? Malachi Flynn? I better watch out. I might get in trouble for harassing Malachi Flynn or something like that. I don't know. Maybe I'll get in trouble for harassing a Sixer or something like that. I don't know. This is messed up. Free speech, YouTube. Come on now. Free speech is what I'm saying. Bryce Lawson saying at Stargate, honestly, NBA Chev is on point every video. I watch him every day, and I really like how he thinks. He's amazing, honestly. Like I said, Bryce, a long time ago when I started this channel, he's an inspiration for why. I saw Chevin's channel and I was like, man, he's good. He's really, really good. And in some ways, he really did inspire me to make this channel. He's one of the biggest influences on me. So, yeah, I really got his back because honestly, in some ways, it wouldn't be Raptor Freak without NBA Chev. Let's just put it that way. G saying, also, they said we think it violates our harassment policy, not that it did. See, this is part of the problem with AI. AI is not smart. In some ways, AI is a program. It's coding. And if it has a protocol, some things there's a human element to things. I know this because, all right, I sheriff or administer a classic pro wrestling group on Facebook, and we use an AI admin to help us. And sometimes it flags stuff, but it doesn't understand. In wrestling, there was a lot of crazy talk, and wrestlers would say, and they had sayings, and they may say some crazy. And some of the fans will quote an old crazy wrestling quote that somebody said. And in today's term, it's not totally PC because it's like in the 80s and crazy stuff they say. And they post it, and then somebody gets hate speech or something like that. But they don't realize in the context of something that there's 2 fans of wrestling talking to each other in the comments. kind of doing wrestling lines back at each other from like a feud from way back, but they read it as like these two people are yelling at each other like wrestlers would at that time. So they have no delineation or figuring out how this may be in the context of what they're trying to say. It's just if they see the words grouped together, it'll flag it and it'll get you in trouble, but they don't know the intention. That's a problem with AI going forward, is that there's a missing human element of kind of sussing it out. Well, is this actually what this is? Oh, it's a joke. Oh, and this has to do with like something that somebody said on this. Oh, well, does AI have that information or that ability to figure that out? Probably not. And that's part of the problem. It may be very well that Chev just said a magic combination of words that just like set it off for a second. And it could be very innocuous what he said and not threatening or anything like that. See, that's what I'm worried. You don't want to automate stuff like this. And in some ways, you need people's judgment and good judgment in their head to really look at something instead of just blanketly letting a computer code figure out what's going on. Yeah, it's a slippery slope, and it's a little scary going forward in the future. Just how AI may be utilized to cut corners and keep people out, and not have people have jobs. And maybe it's horrible at its job because it really doesn't have a human element of knowledge and knowing, well, this is what that is. And it's scary. It's scary in some ways. Let's see. Bryce is saying, hang on, I read that. Let's see. Carlos saying he cussed the players off after the Utah loss in his reaction vid. Doc is apparently close with Masai. Yeah, that's what I hear. I mean, we know that like he's going to do that. He's going to cuss sometimes, and maybe that may be where it flags him, is because he's going off and he's like saying some words, and maybe he's like fucking, and the AI catches it and they say, oh, this guy, he's hate speech or something like that. It's crazy. It's crazy. They got to know the context of things. Doc is apparently close with Masai. So I would trust Doc Rivers talking about Masai Ujiri more than David Thorpe. I would, seriously. So I want to find out what he said specifically. I've been so busy this whole past week with family and doing Christmas, but I'm back on my regular schedule. I'm back to work today, and I'll be going and looking at it, and I'll try and find it and get a whole bunch of stuff that I haven't been able to do just because I've been with my folks, and that's been fantastic. But I'm back at work today. I'm back at it right now, and we're going with the preview today. That's right. Let's see. Seymour saying tapping in all the way from Candle Lake. Had to check it out since Devlin always says it after a 3-point shot. Beautiful Saskatchewan. So Seymour is going to places in Canada because Matt Devlin calls it out for the 3-point shot. He's like, I got to go to Candle Lake. He said Candle Lake, Saskatchewan. So I'm going to go there. This is what the work that Matt Devlin is doing for Tourism Canada. He's yelling out these words of these different places from 3-point shots. And now people want to go to these places. Like Seymour went to Candle Lake. That's awesome. I love that. I love that story so much. Matt Devlin, you're doing a great job for Tourism Canada. Stimulate the economy. Yeah, I love it, Seymour. That's awesome. Kareem on Mountain Time, big ups. It hits different. You Mountain Time boys. Yeah, look at, yeah. I want. It makes me think like you're Oak Ridge Boys or something like that. That old country band. You guys are the Oak Ridge Boys because you're Mountain Time. I don't know. Popped in my head. That's awesome. Mountain Time people. Yeah, Cowboys in the Mountain Time too. Stargate saying at Bryce, yes, he is usually mostly on point and echoes my perception of things as well. There's very little I disagree with him on. It's old head stuff. Like, seriously, that's part of why you guys like me too, is that we have similar sensibilities. I mean, if we're similar age, around the same age, or maybe you guys are, some of you younger, but if you have the sensibilities about the sport of basketball, like Chev and I, you can understand us because we have certain philosophies about what we care about in basketball. And in some ways, we're like people that are like some of the people that are crying out, the defense is not as strong in the NBA at this point. The offense is way too overpowering at this point, and we want to even it out more. You know, we're kind of like these old school fans from the 90s that really, really love 90s basketball. And that era of the NBA is idealized in our heads as being such a great era. And I think that's a part of it, is that we know the old eras and we really treasure and love what the NBA was like. And in some ways, the NBA now is not exactly what we used to like. And we're disappointed about it. And in some ways, the young people, like I've talked to young people that have told me they love the way the NBA is with all scoring at this point, and they just don't get it. What we saw before and why we were kind of like the game's going in the wrong direction because they have nothing to contextualize it against because they weren't alive in the 90s and they didn't see the 90s NBA. So that's a big part of it right there. It's very, 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 very interesting, and that's part of it. I appreciate you, Stargate, and I'm sure that NBA Chev appreciates you too. Firebolt saying I did get a Scotty B jersey. Awesome, awesome. That's the right one. That's the right one. Normally, I don't like getting the number one top guy, but Adriana got it for me for a surprise because I was talking to him so much on Twitch. Like, I didn't buy a Vince Carter jersey. I didn't buy a Chris Bosh jersey. I did not buy a DeMar DeRozan or a Kyle Lowry jersey. This is the first like big star for the Raptors that I actually have their jersey. I always had like Muggsy, Alvin, Junkyard Dog, people like that. I really had secondary guys. So it's kind of cool to have a Barnes jersey right now, especially with his emergence and just how powerful he's becoming. Seymour saying, I now own a Carter purple front back black jersey, front black and back jersey. I got the Curry white and Lex. I need that Keon Clark broski. You know what, Seymour? Seriously, if you want my Keon Clark jersey, I will give it to you. Seriously. It's just I want you to come here to get it. I will figure it out, Seymour. Seriously, in some ways that Keon Clark jersey is not that special to me as the other ones because the other ones are signed. I have the other three that are signed by the guys, Muggsy, Alvin, and JYD. But that Keon, I don't have it signed because I don't know if I'm ever going to run into Keon Clark. But we can figure this out. You're a good buddy of mine, man. You know what? Listen, if you really want that Keon Clark jersey, we can figure it out. I don't mind getting it to you, Seymour, because I love you, man, and you've been a great part of this channel for a while. Nothing, you don't have to win anything. It's no contest, anything. I just give it to you as being a great mod for my channel as the sheriff in the 2 years that we've been here. So yeah, we can do that. We can do that. Let's see. Stargate saying, I know I keep bringing this up, so don't give me a strike, Lex. But I really hope they do a deal with Indiana. Somebody who really doesn't like Chev and what he says did that to him. Trust me, the truth hurt, and he hurt someone's feelings. That's okay. So you think somebody reported him for harassment, and that's how he got in trouble? That could be how it works. I'm not totally sure how it works. Like I wonder about that. You can get reports of harassment, and they'll come check you. Could be that he was very loud and crazy and cussing and somebody took offense and they flagged them or something. I don't know. I don't like that either. In some ways. Let's see. G saying apparently too much profanity can cause a strike. So he was dropping a lot of F bombs. Yeah, I guess maybe I'm going to start going in the direction of trying to be more radio friendly, especially because my brother's kids really enjoyed watching me when we did the trivia yesterday. And I was successful in being PG yesterday. I did not cuss once. I've already cussed today, but I'm going to try and do this more. No cussing Sundays, as our friend before was saying, no cussing Sundays. Well, maybe I will be less cussing in 2024 this year. I'll do it for dramatic effect, and I will still because I believe in free speech, but maybe a little less just to tone it down. Let's see. Fiercely saying home crowd booing the Pistons despite them not being my team. I still feel for them. I can't speak for the team as a whole, but I believe Cade is pouring his heart and soul into the games. Unfortunate. Yeah, that's what they're saying. That actually Cade Cunningham looked really good last night in the loss. That he played really, really well, and he was trying his darndest to get them to the W last night. And it just didn't happen. It's really sad because they just played Brooklyn twice. A home and home, one before the holiday and one after. And in some ways, it's just like when we played Atlanta. One team wins one game, we win the first one, and they win the second one. Well, in some ways, they probably should have evened up and gotten their win and broken their streak against the Nets in one of these two games. And they were close, and they kind of crumbled at the end of the game. See, this is the thing. You can be a bad team, and you can also be a bad team that has no idea how to win. And if you're close at the end of the game, the other team knows how to win better, boom, you're in trouble. And I'm worried about the Raptors for this a bit because we don't know how to win right now. And we can be in close games like we were against the Jazz on Saturday, and we will lose because our team does not know how to take it seriously enough to make sure that they win. It really is who wants it more. And in some ways, if the Raptors don't understand how much you have to want it against top teams in this league to win, Well, we're screwed. We're going to lose a lot. We're going to lose a lot if the Raptors have not figured out how to win at the end of games. It's not the coach. No, it's not the coach. It's not the front office. It's the players. If they don't have the initiative and they don't have the will to want to try and win at the end of games, we're screwed. We're screwed. It's as simple as that. Fred VanVleet and Kyle Lowry were those guys. They were those guys. And they all get so mad at Fred last year. Well, you guys see without Fred why our team needed him. You see it right now. You see the impact he's having on the Rockets, and you see what we lack with his exit and his departure. So, yeah, the casuals, young fans that do not understand the X factors of somebody like Fred VanVleet, and the way y'all talked about him last year was disrespectful, and it was honestly uncalled for. And that's the thing. We're learning tough lessons, youngsters. And in some ways, maybe you need to listen to NBA Chef, Stargate, and me and the old heads and what we're talking about, because we may know a little bit better because we have a history and we understand the sport a little bit better than y'all. And y'all just showed up in the last 5 years, and you think the NBA championships just grow on trees and the Raptors get here. I've seen people write diatribes about the Raptors online, and they're saying, like, this team was at the top, at the pinnacle in 2019, and they've just fallen off since. It's horrible. What a horrible team. Listen, you don't even understand. Were you there on the climb, getting to the top, or did you just show up at the top and that's all you know? See, that's the problem. Some of y'all really do not understand the history of the Raptors and all the time that's been spent with this franchise and what's gone up and down with them. And you really do. You make yourself very apparent that you are a new casual fan that just jumped on the bandwagon when the Raptors won the championship. So all y'all that have become fans of the Raptors in the last 5 years, or just started watching basketball in the last 5 years, you do not have a body of knowledge to really opine on the Raptors or what's going on with them in an informed way. And that's why if you get called a casual, well, it's because you don't know what you're talking about. And there's a lot of y'all out there right now that are very boisterously talking like you know how to fix the Raptors. No, you don't. In fact, you probably make it worse with all your bullshit ideas on there and all the dumb stuff you're saying. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's so stupid. All right, let's see. Monique is saying, Lex, that's why I say the petition for Messiah and Bobby was stupid as fuck. I agree with you. Fire who? Shaking my head. Yeah. The petition is what it is. It's stupid. I saw it online on Twitter, and I went and looked at it, and I saw that like only 200 people have signed it. Like nobody's really into it that much. If you sign that petition, you are not a Raptors fan. I'm gonna tell you that right now. And yeah, it is stupid, Monique. It is a real one, a real bona fide 100%, maybe number one fan of the Toronto Raptors, Monique Lawrence. You listen to her and you see what she's saying on her opinions on stuff. You should listen, young Raptors fans. She's a great leader in our fan nation, and she's very, very, very knowledgeable. Unlike a lot of y'all, she understands. She's been through the fire with this team in different places. She stuck with them through the times of Bosch where we were in tough times. She was there in the very beginning when we were a Purple Dinosaur team. So she knows all the highs and lows and the pinnacles and the valleys that we can go through. And she could teach y'all. She could teach y'all how to be a better fan, number one fan. Monique Lawrence, the greatest. That's right. You need to teach a class to these youngsters. Seriously, Monique. You need to teach these people how to be Raptors fans properly. Because seriously, we need an education for some of these people. I'm telling you right now. Randolph saying, Lex, rumors have it that KD is unhappy with the Suns and they're looking to trade him. Oh, my. Oh, Randolph. Didn't we learn something here? I mean, I don't know. I mean, would they take OG in some package in some way at this point? I mean, seriously. I mean, this would be weird. It'd be very strange. I mean, I get it. I knew that this Phoenix Suns thing was stupid the whole time they started building it. It's like too much offense, not enough defense. Nurkic, not enough defense, and the Suns are still not a top team, still not clicking and playing exactly right. Bradley Beal's a fail. Well, I could have told you that. Matt Ashiba. What are you doing messing around with the apron and the salary cap rules, getting Bradley Beal? That's fool's gold. Why would you want Bradley Beal? That guy's always hurt, and it's not like it's Bradley Beal from 5 years ago, man. Even if you get him back, it's not going to be like what you think he is. Yeah, something's not working in Phoenix, and Kevin's already fed up and not happy there. That's amazing. This is the thing. It's like, what? Did you get some sort of like flu from James Harden? And now all of a sudden it's just like, I don't want to be here. I will never play for Daryl Morey again. I will never play for Matasheba again. I don't know. These guys seem like they're the problem sometimes. Durant, if you really want out of there, yeah, you want to come up to your childhood favorite team? We can make this work, Bobby Webster. Figure it out. Because the shakeup of the Toronto Raptors could be very interesting. We got old Snake up here. He finally got to play for his favorite team when he was a little kid, the Toronto Raptors. That would be very, very interesting. Thank you for that little tidbit, Randolph. I'm open to anything at this point. If Kevin Durant wants to come play for us, I take him. Fiercely saying, same way the NBA has quick takes changed his name, could be they have someone listening to Chev and put the brakes on him as he has valid points. Those trashing the team with negativity get a pass. At Randolph, I hope that's a joke. I can't be, not even one full year with the team yet. Laugh out loud. No, I could see it. I could see it. He expected them to be gangbusters coming right in. That they should have been a super team and like top team with a very, very good record. And they've had a lot of losses. I mean, think about it. They lost to the Spurs a lot at the beginning of the season. And now we see who the Spurs are with their record. And that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad. I hope that these people are not going to be coming down on different people in different ways. In some ways, I'm just glad I got what I got and what I'm doing here. But yeah, having the NBA in your name with NBA quick takes, he had to change to NBA quick takes. And Chev, in some ways, you put that NBA in your front of your name. Well, maybe that is part of getting a little bit more eyes on you. Raptors freak. I don't know. But yeah, we'll see what happens. I'm supportive of Chev and whatever he's going through. And hopefully they'll let him be back on sooner than later. Maybe it's a big mistake and they'll apologize to him. That would be good. Let's see. Stargate saying, yes, Lex, like Dusty Rhodes. Let's get funky like a monkey, baby. Yeah, that's for sure. We'll get flagged. I love it, though. Bam. That's right. I was so privileged and lucky to get to see Dusty Rhodes wrestle in real life in 1986 against Ric Flair. Yeah, it was at the Leon County Civic Center in Tallahassee. And man, it was so awesome. Dusty Rhodes versus Ric Flair, 1986 was a great match. And then later on in life, I went to a wrestling match around 2010 in Tallahassee once again. And it was Chris Jericho versus Ric Flair. And Ric Flair, I was at courtside. It was awesome. Ric Flair's in the ring fighting Chris Jericho. And it's in the same arena that I saw Dusty Rhodes fight Ric Flair in 1986. And Flair is such a good wrestler. And part of the reason why he's so good is he takes the cues from the crowd, just like old wrestlers were used to. Part of wrestling was listening to the crowd and feeding off their energy and reacting to it and really like buttering them up and getting them churned up. Like if they're kind of making noises, you can kind of tell where they're at and kind of like building the energy. And that's really a big part of what the art of wrestling was so good about before. Now they don't know anything about what I just talked about. But anyway, and the match against Jericho around 2010, when I saw Flair fighting him, I was at courtside and I yelled at him from courtside, say, "Hey, Rick, look out. Here comes Dusty." And what Ric Flair did in the match at that point is he did this whole like scared, like looking around thing like he does, because I yelled that to him. So Ric Flair like reacted to me yelling at him that Dusty Rhodes is coming. Just because he had fought him in that building and that Florida wrestling history from way back being there. He remembered and he did it for me. He improvised it like he was scared, like he was looking around to see where Dusty was. That's such an awesome story. Ric Flair, as much as he's a flawed human being, he's a very, very fantastic wrestler and a great improviser in the ring. That's for sure. Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, let's get funky like a monkey, baby. Yeah, that's the road, baby. Yes. Let's see. Carlos saying Mountain Men. That's right. Y'all are the Mountain Men there. Oak Ridge boys. Yeah. Stargate saying, yes, Lex. We're all around the same age, late 40s, early 50s. I think Blackhawk is around the same age as well, too. Yeah. Neil's around the same age, too. He came to the meet and greet, and I got to meet him. That's part of it is the age bracket. I wish we could get more 20-year-olds in here like Amit and Bryce, younger people. That'd be fantastic. But, it is what it is. Some of them will come in here. I mean, I found out that my cousin's son, Jared's been watching me, and that's fantastic. Jared, I love you, bro. And thanks for the great Christmas gift. I went out there. It was so touching. Like Jared came up to me, he said, "I've been watching your channel sometimes. I see that you got go on every morning." And he's like wearing a Raptor shirt. I'm like, holy cow, this guy's been listening to me. It really touched my heart because I didn't realize that my cousin's son was watching me, and he gave me some Raptor gifts because Raptor Streak and all this kind of stuff. Thank you, Jarrett, so much, man. I love you guys. I love you and your cousin and your brother Keegan, and thank you so much for the great Christmas gift, Jarrett. That was so awesome. He gave me, you know what he gave me? He gave me Doug Smith, We the North book, and a Raptors patch, and just a great gift, Jared. I appreciate you, man. Let's see. Mischief's here. Good to see you. How surprised will you be if the Raptors win today and tomorrow? Let's go, Toronto Raptors starters. Yeah. Oh, I want them to win Friday, today and Friday. The games are more split up. The back to back is Friday and Saturday. So the Detroit game's on the second night of a back to back after playing Boston. In Boston, we go to Detroit and play Detroit. So it's going to be tough, but I'd like to win all three of these games and get that Darko dinner by Saturday. So do it. Do it. The tough game is the Boston game for sure. But that Pistons game, I don't know how desperate they're getting, whether they care or not. See, that's what I'm talking about. How much do these guys have pride on the Pistons to end this crazy streak that's going on? Like, that's part of it. Is like, what is enough? And you just put your foot down. You're saying, this, we're not losing anymore. If I was them, I'd say enough is enough tomorrow night when they're in Boston playing the Celtics. And just stop it. Beat the top team in the East, the bottom team in the East. There's a kind of anomalies happen in the NBA all the time where the top team takes the bottom team lightly, and the bottom team's real hungry because they've lost 27 games in a row. So, I mean, I hope that that's what could happen in the next couple of days. I mean, that'd be really good in some ways. Let's see. G saying no, hang on. No, Doc did not seem salty at all. He was complimentary. He said Masai will squeeze as much as possible and he will basically get his way. There you go. All right. See, that's the thing. In some ways, Doc Rivers likes Masai a lot, and there's no hate there. Really isn't. And I appreciate that, Doc Rivers. In some ways, I got more respect for you since you've left Philadelphia. And I missed you, man, being in the broadcast because honestly, you were so good in the broadcast around the 2000s. You really were one of the better announcers on TV in a lot of ways because he really does know his stuff. And in some ways, he's better off working for a Turner or ESPN and covering games. It's just you're in the right place, Doc. You won a championship as a coach and you've had different success as a coach. And in some ways, the game is passing you by. And that's part of the reason why you didn't get hired by anybody once Philadelphia got rid of you this summer. So I get it. I get it. In some ways, you're where you should be right now, Doc. And I appreciate you, Glenn Rivers. That's right. Let's see. Fiercely saying, so am I. Same age group as y'all. Yeah, it really is kind of like an age cohort thing with us. I get it. But it still could be very good for like influencing younger people. And helping, there's going to be young people watching me too, and that's great. That's great. I open-minded young people that don't think I'm so old fuddy-duddy that's stupid and shouldn't be listened to. I appreciate y'all and I respect you because in some ways y'all are smarter than your compadres that are your same age. Seriously, that's the thing. Never stop learning. Never be so proud that you don't think you can learn something from people. That's the problem with some of the young people is they think that they know it all and they really don't need to hear anything from anybody. Yeah, they're not going to get as far in life as the people that are open and listening. And that's why I would say anybody who's listening, if you're under 30 or if you're under 35 and you're listening to me right now, I appreciate you. I really do. I want to get my demographics skewing more young too. All right, let's see. Fiercely, okay, we read that. Milbester's here. All right, let's see what New York Knicks fans saying to us today. Good morning, Raptor Streak. Pistons 27-game losing streak, but what's going on in Detroit? 4 bad seasons in Motor City, but this is a bad time for Michigan basketball. They're about to pass the all-time record. Guaranteed they're losing to the Celtics, and they tie the Sixers' all-time losing streak of 28 games in a row, and your Raptors will play them, beat them, and they'll have their all-time losing streak. I would even bet on you that the Pistons will beat the Raptors to avoid having the longest losing streak of all time, and they'll win against Toronto as they stay tied for the record with the Sixers at 28. All right, Milbester, I'm going to give you a strike. You've been borderline all right being in here. You've gone off topic and really taken the topics to places that we really don't like talking about, and now you've insulted us. So I'll say you have 1 strike. If you get 3 strikes, you're not allowed to come here anymore. So in some ways, I don't take bets like this. And this isn't a space for somebody to come in here and say stuff like this, just so you know. Now, your breakdown of things, yes, The Pistons are in a weird place. The interesting thing about it is Detroit will own all the worst records for all the four major sports by their hockey team, their football team, their baseball team, and their basketball team. If the Pistons take this record from the Sixers this weekend, that all four major sports, the worst records in the history of those sports, will be held by the Detroit franchises. If this happens, so they want to complete the quadfecta instead of trifecta, quadfecta. I don't know, quadfecta. All right, but one strike for you, Milbester. Be careful. They go away after one day. So just don't say three things that piss me off. You said one already. Let's see. Trevor's saying, yeah, see that about KD. That's pretty cool. I think that's pretty cool that KD doesn't want to be in Phoenix anymore. So it's funny to me when things like this happen. And Kevin's a problem. In some ways, he's very much too much like James Harden at this point. Blackhawk saying, "Yeah, I'm old as dirt, but I'm still sexy." There you go. Neil's embracing his old as dirtness, but he's a sexy old dirt. I love it. I'm with you on that, Neil. Actually, honestly, Neil looks young for his age. Like seriously, when I saw Neil, I don't know how old he was. He could have been in his late 20s for all I know. When I met Neil this past summer. Fiercely saying, Lex, as a knowledgeable basketball fan, when did multiple trading become such a thing? I used to watch a long time ago when players stayed on one team or most two during their career. For me, Ewing to the Knicks, Jordan, Bulls, Bird, Celtics, etc. I don't even know which team KD should be linked to. He's been around and he's not the only one. This is a fantastic question, Marie, and I love it. In some ways, it's true. This is all right. I'll explain the phenomena to you, Fiercey. It's basically this. Back in the day, the people that had the power in the NBA were the owners. Yeah. In some ways, they wanted these long term contracts and to tie guys up for franchises for a long period of time because that was the way the NBA wanted to do it. It's smart. In some ways, you get roots and you get something like Stockton Malone in Utah. You get what you were just saying, Jordan and the Bulls, Ewing and the Knicks, Bird and the Celtics. But it was great. But what happened was the players' money started going up and getting higher, and they're getting paid more. And also, there were problems with being discontented on teams and locked in for long-term contracts. I couldn't give you specific names of players where this started to change, but there were players that were annoyed with being on the long-term contracts with a poor team. Maybe Kevin Garnett is a good example of the Timberwolves and being on the Timberwolves for that period of time. Well, he did not want to be in Minnesota losing his whole entire career. So he, in some ways, forced himself out of there. In some ways, we could say Garnett may be the first kind of really person that kind of bucked that system of staying with the team. Well, what happened was it went from owner empowerment to player empowerment. And that made it more like they wanted to work it into the players' contracts and the union, that the players had more autonomy to decide where they play. And that's really why this is the way it is now, is that they empowered the players to be able to go have more fluidity and movement around the league and to get different contracts or even play for who they want to play instead of just getting drafted by a team originally. And that's just kind of your course as a player for the most part. That's really what it is. Player empowerment and players' ability to move away from teams or even just say they're displeased and say, well, I don't want to be here anymore, and then force a trade. It is very much something that has developed and started becoming worse and worse over the last 15 years or so. I'm all about the players having empowerment and having more power against the owners. But I think also at the same time, the way that the teams are so shuffled up and dealt like cards in a card game is annoying. In some ways, it's hard for teams to build continuity for periods of time because of so much shuffling and dealing around. The Warriors are very not normal case when you keep that core together for 10 years. In some ways, they haven't shuffled up their deck as much as other people with Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green. That's a luxury. In some ways, that is something that most teams had, was continuity in a core that stuck together for a long time. Well, that just doesn't happen. And in some ways, that's part of the reason why I want to keep guys together as long as possible in Toronto, because I realize the value in having guys together for 8 years, and they really, really get to know each other better. And in some ways, that's why those old teams played better as a team, because they really were kind of like a family and they were together much longer. Now it's more like there's a bunch of mercenaries in the league, and from year to year, you don't know which team you're going to jump to or go to, and you can be an opportunist. And there's all kinds of stuff. In some ways, it enhances the haves and have-nots of teams in the NBA because people are like, I want to go play with the Lakers. I want to go play with Miami. I do not want to go play for Minnesota, and that in some ways hurts certain markets from ever having a good team or being able to establish a core that sticks together for a long period of time. How do you do that? You got somebody who comes in like Towns, and he plays so good for Minnesota for a couple of years. Then you bring in Gobert, you bring in Anthony Edwards through the draft. Well, one of those guys is going to probably be like, I don't want to be here anymore in the next year or so. And then all of a sudden, you can't keep everybody together. It's like herding kittens. So how the hell do you build a core that's good in quality over a time and build that chemistry in today's NBA? It's impossible. It's hard. It's very, very hard. And that's part of the problem right now. It's part of the problem right now. I don't know, Fiercey, does that answer make sense? It's player empowerment and the money is so much higher and the players have more power. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I just think that the structure of how it goes about should be maybe tinkered with. Then maybe there's a middle ground between the old way it used to be and this complete shuffle up and deal kind of NBA we're in now. I mean, it's indicative in the other sports too. It's happened the same kind of way. That you don't have teams like in the baseball that just stick together for a long period of time. You think about the Blue Jays and their core players that hung around for like chunks of the 80s and 90s. Yeah, and the Blue Jays kind of have a little bit of that with Guerrero and Bichette and a couple of those guys. But how long? And is it as long a duration as the old periods of like, Olerud or Witt or Steve or McGriff and Gruber, people like that. So it's an interesting thing. And it's definitely a lot of what I just said. And it could be Kevin Garnett is the first big symbolic one leaving Minnesota. Yeah. Let's keep going. Milbester's saying, all right, let's see what he's saying. Be careful. I thought the Pistons would beat the Nets, but Brooklyn beat them recently and played Detroit again. Yeah, I was just talking about that. The Pistons should have beat the Nets in one of those games. Last night they had a chance. It was close. But like I said, they don't know how to close games to win. That's a problem. That's a problem. Now, I hope that Scotty takes the matchup against Cade very seriously and personally and wants to beat Cade Cunningham, his buddy, his best friend. That's part of what I want to see. Milbester's saying, I wouldn't really bet on you. Laugh out loud. Don't worry. That was a what if. I don't really mean that. I don't bet. It's all good, Milbester. I just don't want to forecast that kind of stuff. And a lot of people are trying to say that already. We do not want to be the team that the Pistons finally beat. Seriously. Let them lose to us. Once again, beat them, Raptors, on Saturday. Because we don't want that. We don't want that. It's just like the Kobe record. We do not want to be on the other side of 81. It's just like that. Fiercely saying, go Blackhawk with your sexy self. That's right, Neil. That's right. That's right. We're nifty in our 50s. we're not, I don't know what 40 would be. I can't figure that one. All right, let's see. Milbester's saying, I actually don't do sports gambling. Don't worry. You're smart. That's smart. Honestly, it's so messed up, the sports gambling stuff these days. I actually hope the Pistons don't pass the record because it would be bad. In some ways, they should have done something about it already. They've had a lot of teams that they could have beaten in the last couple of weeks. They failed to. I just don't want to be that team that fails to not beat them. We really can't have that, Raptors. We cannot have that. Let them move on and go to the next team. You cannot be that team that does that. You can give them that record, seriously. If they really want to beat that record, they don't want to tie it with the Sixers, they will beat the Celtics tomorrow. They will beat the Celtics tomorrow. Firebolt saying, I'm in the middle between the young ones and the old hats. I'm in my early mid-30s, but I have a lot of life perspective because I've been knocked down by life a few times. So I'm just grateful to be here. So yeah, see, listen, it's not really like, we may have people that are in this chat that are in their 60s and 70s. We have them all the way down. And that's the thing. You can gain wisdom from the trials and tribulations from life, young in life. Trust me. People like Fred VanVleet, who grew up in a very difficult situation when he was a young child, he grew up quick. And that's part of the weirdness about Fred is he had to be an adult as a kid. And in some ways, that really did affect his wisdom as a young person right away. In some ways, if that wasn't the way Fred was, he may not have gone the undrafted route to an all-star like he did, because he really had to learn some tough life lessons and survival as a child because of situations in his family life. So yeah, this is the thing. Those kind of things can happen to you at any time, and you can gain tough wisdom early in life and be a much more mature, educated, smart young person because you have worldly perspective, because you have experience. And that's the big thing. It comes with experience, and you can get experience at a younger age. And some people don't get experience; they just cruise through life, and they're just the same their whole life. See, that's the thing. You're a well-rounded individual who is, has had experience. That's good. Firebolt. Yeah, honestly, I don't. In some ways, I get this whole age divide between the young and the old, and philosophies and thinking about basketball and stuff. But I don't think it should be a versus. I think it should be something where we both educate each other on what that generation likes and what our generation likes, and just kind of meet in the middle, because that will make the best version of the NBA. Trust me, it really will. And I hope Joe Dumars and Adam Silver realize this, that the older fans are really turning it off more and more, because they see the game just deteriorating into something they don't enjoy. But at the same time, we want to make it entertaining for the young people and what they enjoy. So I think that there's some things they could get back to that will make it all right, and kind of find that middle ground. Stargate saying, "I love you, Fiercey." Love for Fiercey. Milbester saying the Knicks had an 18-game losing streak from 2019 and the 20-game losing streak in 1985, the same year they drafted Patrick Ewing as the number one pick when the team was about to be good. Well, that's part of how they got Ewing. They had to lose all those games in 85 to get to that first pick, the frozen envelope. Yeah, they wanted to set you guys up with Ewing for sure. And, he had a great career, never won, but man, Patrick Ewing is a Knick legend. And he's very important to that franchise. I have a lot of respect for Patrick Ewing. I enjoyed watching him play. I very much did. Let's see. Firebolt saying, grateful to be able to watch the Raptors play and get joy from the game. It sucks if they don't win, but at the end of the day, it's just basketball. There are more important things. Exactly. Exactly. And we can't control whether they're going to win tonight. I hope they do. They should. They're a better team than Washington. We beat them a couple times already. We should win tonight. We very much should. Milbester saying 2019 Knicks could have passed the record, but they broke their 18-game losing streak. They were bad and still under David Fizdale as the coach. But the Pistons team is much worse than 2019 Knicks. I don't even understand it. They have a lot of young talent, but once again, that's the thing. You can have all the young talent in the world. If they are not organized and they do not understand that treasure map to get to the win, then they're not going to win. It's kind of like Houston. Houston knows how to get to the win now because Fred's there, and Dylan, and Jeff Green. And now they understand more what it takes to win in the NBA, instead of just being a bunch of youngsters trying to win before with Jalen Green and all those guys. So this is a good thing that, in some ways the Pistons got to figure out how to win. And Bogdanovich is not the right older veteran leader to teach them. Fiercely saying, thanks for the explanation, Lex. I can understand players not wanting to stay on a losing team. Dame crashed at some point and demanded a trade, but it just seems out of control. So much movement. Dame was old school in the way that I just described. He was actually like an old player because he was so synonymous with the Trailblazers, but even he had his limits. And he had to get out this summer. So, yeah, that's part of it right there. But I feel like there is over movement. And in some ways, it's part of the way they structure the salary caps and the way things move. I don't know. In some ways, freedom is good in general. And I don't want to be constrictive and restrictive in some ways. But also, I don't know. It's just for the health of teams and allowing teams to be a high quality of play. You should have synergy built over years of being teammates. And nobody's getting that because people are just shuffling up and redealing everybody over and over again. And the synergy as a unit, as a cohesive unit, like the Lakers had in the 80s, it's hard to manufacture right now. It very much is. All right, let's keep going. MSJ saying the NBA could be better, but in basketball, one player can make such a massive difference and make the team's growth hard. We got a star league. Look at the Sixers. Without Joel, they haven't won a game. And then interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, It's true. If we got Kevin Durant from Phoenix all of a sudden, that would change our fortunes a bit. It's true. One player can make a huge difference. Yeah. Tristan saying new camera angle. Yeah, it's kind of just kind of cut to the side. It's kind of just not totally straight on the wall. I don't know. I mess around with it in some ways. MSJ saying sorry for typos on my phone. It's all good. And you're saying facts to MSJ Fiercey cut off. Great words. And Stargate saying Ewing's baseline jumper was money. Yeah, he was just fun to watch. He's a good dude, and I love the big man play. And he was the epitome of post and just big man stuff. Patrick Ewing. Milvester saying, but some teams like the Pistons are just bad, trying to win, but they suck badly. Yeah, you don't think they're trying to end this? Yeah, but they may not know totally how to do it. And Monty's trying to tell them, but they're not totally getting it. And he doesn't have hair to pull out of his head. So it's a tough situation with the Pistons. I was thinking about going to that game actually. We were talking about Nako and I, but he can't go. So I'm not going, but that would have been fun to kind of get in the car and go down to Detroit for the game on Saturday and be there to support the Raptors. Hopefully, they will just win that game. They just need to. Mischief saying, Lex, when we left karaoke, the owner came up to me and asked me to come back there and drop the bass. That's awesome, man. So you got a gig from it? That's so awesome. Man, I hope you got a regular gig at the Real Jerk. And hopefully, listen, we're going to go do this again where we have a hangout. I'd love for you to bring the bass again to whatever events we're doing. We'll get it set up wherever we are. I don't care. We'll do it. Trevor's saying, got to talk to you guys tomorrow. I have to take the love of my life shopping. All right. He's got to take his love shopping. And we'll see you tomorrow, Trevor J. I appreciate you, man. All right. Let me wrap it up at an hour and a half. Fun guys laughing. MSJ saying, I think like anything with money, pyramid builds, and now in the NBA, the players at the top move about too much as the NBA money has grown. The star players don't care about team, only rings and cash. Yeah, that may be true, some of it right there. In some ways, it is really like you're in a foxhole if you're on like a team in the 80s with the same people in the foxhole. And it's important to kind of get along with them and try and really find that synergy and build it more and more. That's what basketball is all about. It's a team game, and it's about knowing your teammates really well. So you can do behind the back passes where you don't even have to look at them because you know them so well, second nature, exactly where they're going to be. And in some ways, that's what we need to build Scott around with Grady and different people that he can understand. These are their tendencies. And over the years, I'm going to be able to hit Grady at this spot in the corner, or whoever's going to be around Scott going forward. So that's the thing. You see a natural tendency of connection between Siakam and Barnes. You should continue to try and keep it having it. That's just how I feel about it. Yeah. Peace out to Trevor from Tristan. I love it. Milbester saying Pistons could finish with the worst record in the NBA and still not be guaranteed the number one pick because they changed the lottery rules. Yeah. Well, that's always been that way. The way it is you just get the most ping pong balls. But if your ping pong ball doesn't come out, you don't necessarily get the first pick. And that is to be anti-tanking. Is it like, listen, you really want to lose on purpose just to get the first pick? No, it's not going to be by your record. We're going to do ping pong balls. And the chances of you not getting the first pick are there. The chances that you're going to get it are highest, but it's not for sure. And this happens all the time. In fact, the Spurs were not the team that had the best chance to get Victor. They were not. It was like Houston or one of the other teams had the highest chance of getting him, and they failed. So that's the whole stupidness about tanking for players is you can tank and you could think you get Victor. You have the worst record in the league, but you don't because the ping pong ball said otherwise. And that's just how it is. I'm glad they did it that way because they don't want to reward failure by saying, oh, if you just are the worst team, here you go. You get the best player out of the draft next year. No, you can't do that. You have to have an element of chance and in some ways with this, or people will very much set up their course for what they're going to do exactly. And they need to know that it's not for sure. They need to know it's not for sure. Let's see. Fun guy saying, how was your Christmas, bro? It was perfect, man. I'm not lying. We had like the craziest perfect Christmas ever. And it really was because my brother and his kids are up here. And my parents, I just got to spend Christmas with my family for the first time in like 5 years. The pandemic made it really hard for us to connect. There were a couple Christmases in the last couple years where I was by myself here and did not do any Christmas. I didn't get on a plane. I didn't see any family. I just acted like it was another week. and I didn't do any shopping for Christmas or opening any presents. I just sat in my house and stayed away from everybody because the pandemic was going on. So this was really nice to retouch things with them and like be able to spend a good 4 days with them doing all kinds of fun stuff. We went and saw my grandmother, and seeing my 101-year-old grandmother with my 13-year-old niece was just really special. Seeing them bond and talk to each other. So there was all kinds of good stuff, fun guy. And I hope you had a fantastic Christmas also out there in the 905 with your people, your friends, and your family. Mo's saying, book my ride for a New Year's Day game. All right, that's Cleveland here in Toronto on New Year's Day. Mo's going to be down there on the free TTC ride because it's all free on New Year's, baby. That's right, and as it should be. Milbester saying Pistons deserve the number one pick. They aren't even tanking; they're just bad. But they changed the lottery rules in the NBA, so the odds of getting the number one pick are like less percentage. They're probably going to get it still. I mean, the team with the most ping pong balls can win the lottery still and get the number one pick. They have the best chance. That's just how it is. Fun guy saying, yeah, worst record has never guaranteed the number one pick ever. It did used to kind of like way back in like the 60s or something like that. Yeah. And then they realized, okay, this doesn't kind of like, I think the lottery started in the 80s. That they started doing the lottery in the 80s. And this is completely why there's an NBA draft lottery, is exactly what Milbester's talking about. Let's see. It was rigged for the Spurs to get Wembayama, to be honest. They had David Robinson and Tim Duncan as number one picks. The NBA rigged us to get in 85 to get Ewing. So, same NBA lotteries are rigged. I won't disagree with you that what you're saying may be true on all of them. Not on Duncan and Robinson though. Not really with them. I would say the Ewing and the Wembayamas are probably true. I know the Ewing one is because the frozen envelope story just makes sense. And they really did want New York to have a very powerful superstar to make the Knicks very marketable, and they were successful. They just didn't win a championship. Now with Victor, they were in a dicey situation. And I can understand why the NBA would want Victor to be in a Spurs uniform with Greg Popovich and not in Houston or not in Detroit. I mean, could you see Victor being on Detroit right now and the mess that would be for as far as like his development and losing and marketing and everything that has to do with Victor Wembanyama? So the Spurs were the best place for him to land. And yeah, I'm sure that there was a little bit of maybe something that helped them land them. And I'm not upset about it. I'm a big Spurs fan. But this is an interesting period of Victor's career. It's the very beginning, and he's a rookie, and he is very, very much on a bad record team. That's not going to be the case for most of his career. So in some ways, we need to relish the time before Victor's got things figured out and he's playing at a much more dominant level. And just like let's allow him to ease into his NBA career, and he will find winning at some point. Trust me. And we may be very much pining for the days when Victor was not winning at all in his rookie year because he's going to be so dominant at some point. Some people are saying that the Spurs are playing like they're on TV because Victor's on TV. He brings the attention. They want to put him on national broadcast games. And some of the other Spurs are getting starstruck because they're on TV and they think it's about them. No, it's about Victor. And y'all need to give him the ball. Y'all need to stop freezing him out and doing your own little showcase. No, the TV broadcast being national is because of your number one pick this year. And so don't get it twisted, the rest of the Spurs. You're not the show. He is. It's funny. Let's see. Milbester saying, even if Victor Wembanyama was in Detroit, they would still need the right coach and players around him. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even want to speculate what it could have, should have. We could be here all day. I'm glad he went to the Spurs because Popovich is one of the best coaches of all time. All they need is to build the right players around him as Victor gets better, and they will be a playoff team. Detroit needs Tayshaun Prince, Chauncey Billups resurrection. That's an interesting one. All right, this is what I'm going to say about Victor being in San Antonio. This is really funny because people are coming at Greg Popovich right now. Obviously, the Spurs record is really bad, and they are ready to can Popovich. People, these newer fans do not understand the history and legacy of Popovich. Obviously, because that's disrespectful. You really think Greg Popovich is a horrible coach? Newer Spurs fans, Y'all are crazy. Do you not have a historical perspective of what this man has done for that entire team, everything? It's really crazy. That's indicative. Like, if we're worried about stuff that's happening in Raptors Nation, like I've talked about on the stream, let's look from the outside, looking at them, and see how Spurs Nation is turning on Popovich and not giving him the same respect that he deserves. And in some ways, it's not the old head fans of the Spurs. They understand how important he was to everything they did. It's the younger fans that just don't get the historical perspective of how much Greg Popovich is intertwined with all the success over the last 30 years of the Spurs. It's like you forget so soon. Oh, you only look at their record right now? Do you not understand the success that he's brought to your city in the NBA over like the 5 championships that he helped win in San Antonio? That's what I want to remind people about with Masai and Bobby. It's a similar thing, that Masai and Bobby are like Popovich with us, and we need to respect and give them carte blanche to do what they're going to do, because they're just legends. They're just great at what they do. They have a proven track record. And that's why turning on Popovich, if you're a Spurs fan, is stupid right now. And I would say the same thing about in our fan nation with Ujiri. Monique is saying, a W stream, Lex. Keep at it as always. Good times, good times. Go Raptors. Let's keep climbing, and to get better, stay focused. Yeah, I'm going to finish up real quick. Let's go Raptors. Thank you, Mischief. And Milbester saying the Spurs suck because outside of Sohan and Wemby, their team sucks. It's not Popovich making the team bad. It's bad players. A good coach has to make good, and that's not easy for any head coach in the NBA. Spurs will be where OKC is. Yeah, I mean, this is similar to what we're going through right now. The players are not good enough to add up to winning, and it's making the coach and the front office look bad. That's what's going on right there. Good morning, Jillian. Glad to see you back. And on that note, OKC just won. On that note, we're out of here. It's always funny when I do that. All right, here's the injuries again. No injuries really for the Raptors other than Koloko. And I've heard that Garrett Temple is doubtful for tonight. Those are the only 2 injuries. Nobody's injured on the Washington side. Our crew chief for the Raptors game tonight is Curtis Blair. Sean Corbin is the second ref, and Matt Bolan is the third ref. Curtis Blair and Sean Corbin both favor the Raptors. Matt Bolan slightly favors the Wizards. In Westchester for the 9:05 game, it's Pat O'Connell as the crew chief, Claire Aubrey is the referee, and Kaz Beverly is the umpire. All right, y'all. Well, that's about it. Let me just do the main event marquee matchup, and we'll get out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Washington Arena for the Washington Wizards game against the Toronto Raptors. Tonight, we have a game against a splash game. It's a pool game. We're going to be doing cannonballs into the pool. I'm going to see who can do the biggest cannonball in the game tonight. Is it going to be from Florida State University, number 4, 6'10", Scotty Barnes? Or is it going to be from the pool, Jordan Poole? Is he going to be splashing in the pool bigger cannonball than Scotty Barnes? We'll have to see. Cannonball competition at the Washington Arena tonight. There you go. Here's your main event marquee matchup. It's a cannonball. It's a cannonball. Have a good day to you, Milbester. And yeah, don't worry about the strike. The strike is just a warning to don't overstep in negativity towards the Raptors in some ways. We want to think positive things for them. And I don't want to forecast anything like that happening, what you just said earlier. No, I don't. No, I don't. We still deal with that 81 Kobe hung on us. We don't need that coming around. But yeah, have a good breakfast, Milbester. I appreciate you, Knicks fan, for being our Knicks guy right now. It's really awesome to have fans of other teams coming in here, like Sixers fan and different fans, when we can be civil and talk basketball. It's always a joy. So, Milbester, Happy New Year and Merry Christmas. And I appreciate you, man. Cool Cat saying differences in demographics. Yeah, demographics. That's an interesting one. And against the Timberwolves, the boot. Yeah, and Fiercely saying, what time is the Raptors 9:05 game? Is there one? I missed the beginning of the stream. Yes, 9:05 and the Raptors are both tipping off at 7 p.m. So it's a split screen night. If you're going to watch both of them, you got to put one on one screen and one on the other, because they're going to be going at the exact same time. That's annoying. It is annoying. I wish they could stagger this kind of stuff. But the NBA schedule is so hard to make anyway, they're not going to take into account if the G League is playing at the same time. So 9:05 and the Raptors both playing at 7 p.m. sharp tonight, Fiercey, just so you know. Fun guy saying, what do you think will happen if we lose this one? Does the city riot? I don't care. Anybody who's going to get bent out of shape about the Raptors and they're losing, in some ways, that's their own life. That's their own way they want to carry themselves. Well, you're foolish. Even me, a passionate diehard that loves a team so much, ain't going to get all bent out of shape like them. So, have some pride, have some dignity, Raptors fans. And just, if you can't watch the losing, go watch something else. In fact, my brother is taking his family to the Leafs game tonight to see them play the Ottawa Senators at the Scotiabank Arena tonight. My niece and nephew are getting to their first NBA and NHL games on this trip, going to the Utah game with me on Saturday, and now they're going to go see the Leafs tonight against the Senators. So, yeah, go watch something else. Go do something else. There's a lot of other things in life other than just Raptors basketball. And if Raptors basketball is torturing you so badly with certain Raptor fans, then just go away for a while. You do not have to watch. It's not mandatory. You can do what you want. Julian saying that's Trevor J's trophy. Perhaps use your beaver, man. Cheers. I know I was supposed to give this to Kenrick, but we have not linked up yet. So I still got to give this in-season tournament Trevor J Cup to Kenrick Chronic Art James, but we just haven't linked up. He hasn't answered me about coming to get it or me going to take it to him. I'll figure that out probably the next couple of days. It got busy around Christmas, and I'll probably check in with him again, see if I can come by and give it to him. Let's see. You want the Beaver to do the main event marquee matchup? I don't know. I've debated what his voice should be. It's hilarious. Peace, everyone. Thank you, Tristan. Peace on earth. That's right. Bing Crosby, David Bowie. Peace on earth. Goodwill to man. Fiercey saying, thanks, Alex, and let's get the dub tonight, fam. That's right, Fiercey. That's right. That's all right. You can call me Alex too. I had some friends that called me Alex back in the day. It's Alexi, but I go by Lex mostly. So Lex or Al or Alex or Alexi. It's all good. Goodness, autocorrect. Do your intro your producers? Did I introduce my producers? You know what I got? All right, listen. I'll give you guys a little taste of something that's coming in the new year. Trevor, don't get me something because they got me this for Christmas. My niece and nephew and my brother got me a Yeti microphone, so I'm gonna be hooking this up. I gotta tinker with it today, and I don't know if I'll do the stream tomorrow with it. I might change over with New Year's Day to this thing on Monday. But yeah, I got a new microphone, so hopefully that'll be a nice addition to the production of this channel. So yeah, producers are looking out for me. Yeah. Let's see. Fun guy's saying he will riot if we lose to the Wizards tonight. All right. Well, I'm not going to go over to Mississauga tonight then. Let's see. Go Raps go. Very nice. Yes. Yes. All right, y'all. Thanks for watching me today. Great preview today. I appreciate all y'all's comments and also just the interaction. It's always good, positive time here. Keeping our heads up and having dignity in a dark time for our team. And well, hopefully they come correct tonight and they don't mess around and they get off to a good lead. This is my keys to the win for y'all. Come correct tonight, Scotty Barnes. Don't mess around. Y'all start right away. And if you can give a good, consistent effort through the whole 48 minutes and keep a good lead on the Wizards the whole game. I'd love to see a wire-to-wire Raptors lead. So no Cali stress meter, no any BS like that. We don't want to see anything like what happened on Saturday where you guys are winning the whole game and then you crumble in the last quarter. No, just take care of business and get that W. Take care of business. That's why y'all are in Washington. You're not down there to waste your time and not come out there with a victory. It's Wednesday, for Pete's sake, and it's raining in Toronto right now. So there's a lot of good factors that are conducive for y'all to win. It's Wednesday, and we need to win on Wednesday like we have been all year. All right, y'all. I love y'all. I appreciate all y'all. Please like, comment, share, and join if you feel like it. Being a member has its privileges. Is raining in NYC also? Okay, then. Westchester is raining where Marquise Noel is in Mr. New York City. All right, y'all. And thank you for all the feedback about my Christmas Carol. It was fun. I wish I could have done it a little louder and sang it in my full voice, but it was early and I want to be quiet. All right, y'all. I appreciate every one of you. And as always, I say, let's go 905 and let's go Toronto Raptors and let's just get dubs tonight. Let's make it a double W Wednesday today, Raptors. Let's do it. How about it? Let's go.